Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming to our presentation.
My name is Mika.
My name is Akiho.
My name is Risa. Tonight, we will share with you about the Japanese 7 gods of fortune.
All over the world, everyone wishes to have good fortune every day. We Japanese have a lot of wishes that we want the god to fulfill, such as academic achievement, marriage type, a safe birth, and better social status. When we look at God worldwide, Christian, Jews, and Muslims believe there is just one God.
However, in Japan, most Japanese believe that there are many gods and also depends on our ancestors to get good fortune through them because Japan has a Buddhist history or background. And sometimes they believe that they depend on the 7 gods of fortune to get good fortune.
Tonight, we will introduce 3 topics of the 7 gods of fortune. First, Mika will introduce profound origin and historical background. Next, Akiho will introduce their fascinating customs. My name is Risa. Finally, I will introduce the 3 auspicious gods of them.
Hello, I'm Mika. I'm glad you came. Now, I will introduce the profound origin and historical background of the 7 gods of fortune. First, who are the 7 gods of fortune? The 7 gods of fortune are a kind of the folk religion and believed in as a part of daily life in Japan. Unlike Buddhism, these gods are outside of government recognition and also exist without a solid religious group or a leader of a sect. Also, some Japanese believe in them as bringers of wonderful good luck. The character of these gods is that individual gods bring specific fortunes such as good health and wealth. And they are the 7 gods. From left, Ebisu, Daikokuten, Benzaiten, Bishamonten, Fukurokuju, Jurojin, and Hoteison. Could you memorize those names? My co-presenter Risa will explain some of their characteristics soon. In Japan, we see the 7 gods everywhere, but where can we see them in society? Now, I will give 4 examples. First is in shrines, second is in advertisement, third is as activities of local festivals, and final is on goods such as snacks. As you can guess, these gods are treated like a character, although these gods are actual gods. So, has anyone been wondering why there are 7 gods? It related to the sutra. The sutra are sacred scriptures for Buddhists, like the Bible is for Christians. Let me explain the importance of the number 7 in these 2 phrases from the sutra. The first one concerns the death of 7 tragedies, which I tell you more about soon. And second one, the birth of 7 fortunes. As you can see, these blue letters mean 7. In the legend, if you became honest to the religious teaching, these 7 tragedies eventually vanish and good fortune will come to you. By the way, what are the 7 tragedies? There are 7 tragedies. They are drought, theft, fire, abnormal weather, infection, windstorm and flood damage, and earthquake. Also in the legend, by summoning the god, these 7 tragedies eventually vanish and can give birth to good fortune. Next, I will introduce the history of the 7 gods during Muromachi period from 1333 to 1573. When some people believe in the some people began to believe in the 7 gods. But why did this situation happen? From 1467 to 1477, there was a civil war in Kyoto. Because there was no more food and the morale of the people became low, both samurai and the people were trapped in an extreme state. Therefore, some people started to rely on the 7 gods to get good fortune. Following the war, society began to come back from the bottom. Also, this situation allowed the people save a little money. However, they gradually became greedy and started to rely on the 7 gods more and more. Let's move on to the Edo period from 1603 to 1867, when the 7 gods of fortune became more popular among the people. Now, I will introduce 2 men who had strong influence on the development of the 7 gods. Please look at these pictures. The left picture is Buddhism bishop, and the right picture is shogun. The shogun is like a military dictator, and this bishop was religious advisor of this shogun. One day, this bishop praised the shogun for having 7 of these qualities of the 7 gods. You are like a combination of all gods together. That's why you are great. You should influence the people to develop these qualities also. These qualities means honesty, virtue, influence, amiability, generosity, popularity, and longevity. It is no wonder that the influence of the shogun was really great. Please look at this picture. This picture was first drawn by a resident artist of this shogun. From this picture, more people first learned about the 7 gods and could recognize them more and more. Also, to go on a pilgrimage was one of the influential recommendations also. My co-presenter Akiho will tell you more about pilgrimage soon. In summary, the 7 gods of fortune are familiar to all Japanese even though they don't receive government recognition like Buddhism. And also, these gods are very popular among the people wishing the great fortune in daily life. Unconsciously, these gods have always strongly influence on people's daily lives, even though they don't strongly believe in them. Next, my co-presenter Akiho will tell you 3 interesting customs related to the 7 gods. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Mika. I would like to introduce fascinating customs related to the 7 gods of fortune. As you already know, the 7 gods of fortune are the most popular gods in Japan. Therefore, naturally, there are many attractive customs related to them. I will introduce 3 interesting customs related to the 7 gods of fortune, the pilgrimage to the 7 shrines, the lucky man race, and finally purification custom. The first one, the pilgrimage to the 7 shrines, is the most famous custom related to the 7 gods of fortune. The origin of this custom is during the Edo period from 1603 to 1867. What is a pilgrimage to the 7 shrines? In short, it's a kind of tour. People visit 7 shrines in a particular area related to the 7 gods of fortune. People believe when they visit all of the 7 shrines, the gods take bad luck away and give happiness to the people. Additionally, if people want, they can get a certificate of completion called a shuin, like a stamp. Each shrine has its own symbol, so the stamp shows a person has visited that shrine. Look at this map. Each dot on the map represents one group of the 7 shrines. Each shrine represents one god of 7 gods of fortune. These days, the pilgrimage to the 7 shrines is very popular sightseeing tour. Many travel companies cooperate with the transportation company to arrange this tour. People can take the tour bus or train. Nowadays, many people are suffering from stress or economic recession. In such a time, people depend on the power of the 7 gods of fortune. Each shrine in Japan has specific customs or events. The Lucky Man race is one of these events. It takes place on Nishinomiya Shrine in Nishinomiya City, which is a sister city of Spokane. At the shrine, people worship one god of 7 gods of fortune, Ebisu. From January 9th through 11th, a big festival which is called Toka Ebisu is held, and the Lucky Man race is one of these events. The history of this event comes from the Kamakura period, from 1192 to 1333. At that time, people just left their home as early as possible to be the first man arriving that shrine. From the Edo period, from 1603 to 1867, people started to gather in front of the main gate that shrine to start to race. Their goal is the main hall of that shrine. At first, it was just for people who live in Nishinomiya City, but now people come to join this event from around Japan. Why did the Lucky Man race become very popular? Because the Lucky Man race is very easy to join. Basically, Japanese festival or customs welcome whoever wants to join. Now, about 3,000 people participate in that event. Let's go back. Let's move on to the next custom. When people think about the 7 gods of fortune, our image of these are sitting on the treasure ship. The last custom I will introduce the 7 gods of the purification custom is a key to understanding why the 7 gods of fortune on the treasure ship. At first, let's look at the background of this custom. For Japanese, New Year's Day is the most important time of the year because it's the beginning of the year. Since olden days, people have believed it, their fortune was predicted a dream on New Year's night. Therefore, people hope they have a good dream as a sign that the year would be happy. On the other hand, people are so afraid of having nightmare would be bad sign for the coming new year. From the Muromachi period, from 3033 to 5073, people started to think an idea that they take their bad dream away. How do people get rid of bad dream? The day before New Year's Day, people get a piece of paper which has an image, the 7 gods of fortune on the treasure ship. Before they go to sleep, they put this piece of paper under their pillow. While sleeping, the 7 gods of fortune will take bad dream away, like a dream catcher in America. Now, it's just a superstition, but still, it's a Japanese basic knowledge. Let's go back to the story about the treasure ship. When the purification custom began, people used an image just of simple ship, also without the 7 gods of fortune on it. Why the 7 gods of fortune are on the treasure ship now? It's because of the geography of Japan surrounded by the ocean. Now we have airplane, but those days ships were only one way to go to other country. A long time ago, China used to send a tons of valuable things to Japan by ship. People started to believe the word of God is beyond on the horizon on the ocean and come to Japan to bring happiness. Over generation, the purification custom is got connected with the 7 gods of fortune on the treasure ship. The 7 gods of fortune on the treasure ship is a symbol of the greatest happiness in Japan now. In conclusion, even today, Japanese have developed beliefs or customs which anyone can be involved naturally. People find a pleasure to believe that God as a part of their daily life. To know the 7 gods of fortune is same as to know the Japanese spirit. Next, Risa will introduce the characteristic of the 7 gods of fortune. Thank you for listening.
Hi everyone. My name is Risa. Thank you, Akiho, for sharing fascinating customs. I will introduce my favorite 3 unique and auspicious gods. Referring back to what Mika said, the 7 gods of fortune have various personalities and interesting characteristics. I picked 3 gods, Bishamonten, Ebis, and Hoteison. The 7 gods of fortune come not only from Japan but also from China and India. One of the reasons why they became famous in Japan is the 7 gods of fortune have different personalities. So, what they bring to people is also different. I would like to talk about Bishamonten at first. This is Bishamonten. He is the defender of the nation. What he brings us is protection. I want to show you each part of Bishamonten. These 4 pictures at the corner shows his belongings and appearance. As you can see his face, he has a stern look, and he wears armor from head to toe. In his right hand, he holds a spear, and in the other hand, he holds a pagoda, which is like a tower. The bottom right picture shows Bishamonten trampled the evil spirits to protect us from misfortune. Next, I'm going to talk about his romantic relationship. Two important female gods were around him. Kishoten, a god of happiness. Benzaiten, the one of the 7 gods of fortune. But Kishoten was supposed to be one of the 7 gods instead of Benzaiten. In fact, they were kind of rivals. They fought to become one of the 7 gods. And moreover, Benzaiten tried to marry Bishamonten. Kishoten gave up the fight to become one of the 7 gods and married Bishamonten. As a result, Benzaiten became one of the 7 gods of fortune. Next, I'm going to talk about Ebisu. This is Ebisu. He is the god of fishery and business. What he brings to people is wealth. He always carries a fish and a fishing pole. Don't you think his appearance related to fisherman? Actually, it is related to his childhood. It is said to be that Ebisu, who was a child of Izanagi and Izanami, was born without legs and arms. In the past, female god fell in love male god, and she confessed her love to him, which was against the rules. So, as punishment, their baby was born that way. This picture of Ebisu shows he has no lower arms and legs. He couldn't stand for 3 years, so the parents decided to float him in a reed boat to the sea. And he arrived at Nishinomiya port, and fishermen found him. The fisherman raised him up lovingly as the exceptional person, Ebisu. After he grew up, his legs and arms grew, and he brought prosperity to that area. This fish expressed a large catch. This is how he is related to fishing. And I'm going to talk about his characteristics. Japanese people think plump ears are a kind of symbol of richness. Look at this picture and guess how rich he must be. Please check your ears in the mirror after you go back to your house. Next, I picked Hoteison as the 3rd god. Interestingly, he is said to be the begging god. What he brings to people is peace, longevity, wealth, and safe birth. He always carries a big bag. His appearance is unforgettable because he is very short, fat, and his stomach is always exposed, so we can see his fat stomach. However, even by looking at his face, we can feel happy. He laughs by opening his big mouth, and he is open-minded. As I mentioned before, he is always carrying a big bag. Can you guess what is inside of the bag? Dreams, hopes, food, stationery? What do you think? Thank you for participating. Actually, all the answers are correct. And the stuff in the bag is limitless. Actually, he begs for food from the rich to give to the poor, kind of like Robin Hood. He didn't live at the same place because he didn't have his own house. There is an interesting legend of Hoteison. One day, he slept on the snow because he didn't have his own house. And while he was sleeping, it kept snowing. After he woke up, it was no snow on his body. Moreover, he didn't get wet at all. In addition, every time he predicted the weather, and he hit the mark 10 times out of 10. From his unbelievable abilities, he became well known and famous between people around him. And his legend passed down from generation to generation. In conclusion, today I introduced only auspicious gods, Bishamonten, Ebis, and Hoteison. But the other gods are also interesting, and they have totally different personalities. It is good to believe in such gods, because we can trust and respect them. They absolutely make us happy. Thank you for listening. Through researching the 7 gods of fortune, we found that many Japanese people don't know about the 7 gods of fortune well, but they are closely related to Japanese people and their daily life.
Thank you for listening today. We wish the 7 gods of fortune bring you
Wonderful fortune and a fabulous life! Does anyone have any questions? Yes, Mom.
So do people have gods in their house? In their little
So you mean the goods or? Okay. The question is, so do Japanese people have any goods or question like statue of 7 gods of fortune? I think actually yes.
My grandfather kind of like collector of the 7 gods of fortune, and he has his own room for the 7 gods of fortune, and he has like this stuff, tons of stuff, his own room. So, yeah. Yes, Mom. Hercules. Strong. Maybe Hoteison. Could you say that again? Strong. Question is, does Ebisu make us strong? No?
So it's
Greek?
Greece. No.
That's a good question.
The question is that the ABC come from the Greek? No, sorry. Sorry. actually similar. Really?
I'm sorry,
Actually,
that
yeah.
was not our part of research. So sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have these 7 shrines in your cities?
The question is, do our tower city have 7 shrines related to the 7 gods? Actually, yes. So as I told you, our university in Japan in Nishinomiya City, and Nishinomiya City had a Nishinomiya shrine related to the related to the one god of the 7 god of fortune, and around this shrine, other shrine related to the other 7 gods of fortune and gather, so we can visit all of the 7 shrines one day. So that's why so very easy to visit. So that's why the pilgrimage to the 7 shrine is very popular sightseeing tour.
Does anyone have any more questions?
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Does the winner of the Lucky Man race get a prize?
The question is, does the winner of the Lucky Man race give prize? Yes, the winner of the Lucky Man race can be given prize like a rice. So rice is very Japanese specialty. So very like this, a lot of rice, and also happy. Do you know happy? Japanese traditional clothes like this type, and for the festival. And when I visit the Nishinomiya Shrine, a man whom I talked with said, Ebisu View, there is a company related to the Ebisu for Ebisu View started to belong to give prize to the winner from next year. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Gods, I kept checking my ears.